Hello, everyone. Coming up here on the Pro Wrestling Show, right here, right now. We're going to crown a new Women's Intercontinental Champion. Who's going to be the first Intercontinental Champion between Dakota Kai and Liv Valkyria? These two women finally made it to the finals, and they're going to be fighting who's going to be the first Women's Intercontinental Champion. Plus two, Damien Preist takes on Finn Balor in a street fight. These two longtime friends, now bitter rivals, put their ear to the test in a street fight. We'll see it coming up. Also, to the voice of the voices, CM Punk will be live on Raw. What would CM Punk say after defeating Seth Rollins last week on Raw on his debut on Netflix? We'll get to it coming up. As well as Rhea Ripley. What's next for Rhea Ripley after winning the Women's World Championship from Liv Morgan last week? Let's talk about it. And Gunther to make his presence felt, the world champion. What would the world champion say? We'll hear that coming up. As well as Chad Gable requests a top-notch match against a luchador. We kind of know the worst kept secret in wrestling. We'll get to it coming up. And Sheamus will be out for retribution when he takes on Ludwig Kaiser as well. We get the Raw Ring Report. Started here on the Pro Wrestling Show. We started right now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendra Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and share. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing. All right. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. We're live in a living color as always. Like I said, this has been a great pro wrestling show. This is the second episode of Raw on Netflix. So let's get things started. Let's get things crack-a-lacking with this CM Punk. What CM Punk had to say? CM Punk had a lot to say tonight. And CM Punk did not hold back whatsoever. And CM Punk came back out. He ended Raw on Netflix last week with a bang, and this week he leaves it without defeating Seth Rollins. So CM Punk gets the matter at hand, and CM Punk came out there with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins still bitter and angry that he did not defeat CM Punk like he wanted to. I think CM Punk really got a lot on his plate and a lot on his chest and stuff. And CM Punk was confronted by Seth Rollins and CM Punk with the confrontation as well. I'll tell you that right now. Until an old foe showed up. None other than Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre showed up. I don't know why he showed up. Drew McIntyre showed up to say that he's going to enter the Royal Rumble. CM Punk saying that he's going to enter the Royal Rumble. Everybody wants to enter the fray at the Royal Rumble. This Royal Rumble is going to be one of the most star-studded Royal Rumbles in today. Almost close to a decade, if you ask me. Almost 8 years to the making. CM Punk in the Royal Rumble. Remember, CM Punk was the runner-up last year against Cody, but he had issues with his bicep at the time. CM Punk wants to go to WrestleMania. He wants to main event WrestleMania. The only way to main event WrestleMania is by winning the Royal Rumble match, the 30-man Royal Rumble match as well. But CM Punk wants that main event spot as well. And Seth Rollins also said he declared that he's going to end the Royal Rumble. And Seth Rollins said that he wanted to be the one to end CM Punk and be done with him, but guess not. So all three men, Drew, Seth, and CM Punk, have entered the Royal Rumble. This is going to be a most interesting Royal Rumble, if you ask me, between these three guys. And hopefully they don't be near each other or when close to numbers and stuff because they self saying that he wants to eliminate CM Punk's ass out the Royal Rumble and go to WrestleMania and crush his dreams. As well, CM Punk wants to do the same as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. But all three men have entered the Royal Rumble match. This is going to be an exciting Royal Rumble, if you ask me, going forward and stuff. Speaking of that, Seth Rollins got confronted by Sami Zayn. Seth and Sami were on the same page. They don't see eye to eye no more, but they're still friends. But you can tell Seth Rollins trying to ask Sami why he did what he did. It's like planting the seeds between a match between Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins down the road for a match or something. If that guaranteed to happen, stuff we'll see if that bees the way. But we just have to wait and see. We were getting the first treat of the night, a match. Chad Gable may had not wanted to happen, but it was the worst, best kept secret ever. Chad Gable was going to go against a top-notch luchador. Who was this top-notch luchador that Chad Gable was going against? The secret was out and about. We kind of found out what the secret was. It was none other than Pentagon. Pentagon making his WWE debut right here. Pentagon Jr. making his WWE debut. And Pentagon lived to the expectations, lived through the hype. Pentagon brought his A game to WWE. Pentagon known worldwide, even from AEW. Pentagon making a big splash in WWE and a big impression, and did so tonight by defeating Chad Gable. Chad Gable had those "you suck" chants, but Pentagon stole the show with those aerial moves. Pentagon was on point tonight. And I tell you this, Pentagon brought his, like I said, Pentagon brought his A game. Ain't no question about that. Pentagon was ready, man. I tell you, he was ready. And Pentagon looked it good. They even right here got merchandise of Pentagon already. Pentagon already got his merchandise out. Good God, Pentagon got the merchandise, the t-shirts, the mask. Pentagon is there. He went from All Elite to WWE. Congratulations, Pentagon, on his first match on Raw, defeating Chad Gable. Good God. Well, we told you earlier we was going to hear from world champion Gunther. Gunther made his presence felt. Gunther becoming a bland champion, and we'll get to Gunther on the world championship. This is right here, Triple H right here posing with Pentagon. We meant to make mention of it. Triple H posing with Pentagon, and Triple H doing the zero no fear. Triple H doing the zero no fear with Pentagon. And Pentagon brought his A game. I can tell you that right now. We'll get to Pentagon a little bit later on Wrestling Hot Topic. But we talked about this. We talked about Gunther making his presence known. Gunther, the world champion. Prize. He didn't even be on the first night on Netflix. That was kind of disrespectful, but maybe he'll make it up right here. He got confronted by Main Event Jey Uso. Main Event Jey Uso saying it's been a long time. He's been wanting some gold. He wants the world gold. I've been saying this for quite some time. I can see Main Event Jey Uso winning the gold. I said it coming forward. And this will be the first step. I think he's going to get his shot at the world championship, but he'll get his shot on Saturday night's main event coming up. So Main Event Jey Uso taking on Gunther for the world title on Saturday night's main event. Can Main Event Jey Uso do the impossible a week before the Royal Rumble and become world champion? I think this should have been a Royal Rumble match to me, but I guess you got to sell some bill goods on Saturday night main event. But like I said, we'll see this match, but I'm expecting Gunther to retain his championship like he always does and stuff. But Gunther defending the championship against Main Event Jey Uso on Saturday night main event on January 25th. So we'll see that as well. Well, speaking of that, Karrion Cross keeps on threatening the Miz, and he puts the Miz in unpromising positions, and Miz don't really have no chance, no choice. Miz gonna go along with it. Miz went against Sami Zayn tonight. Miz took on Sami Zayn, and the Miz lost his match against Sami Zayn with the Blue Thunder Bomb right here. Sami Zayn pinning the Miz to get the win. The Miz can't never get a break. Miz can't never get a break. I think he's being like you know what? Miz is the and Karrion is the pimp. And that's what we're kind of going with right now. But you can tell right there, but Miz gonna have to figure out how to get away from Karrion sooner rather than later. Well, we get to this. Which one of these two ladies will be the next Women's Intercontinental Champion? The finals, Live Valkyria versus Dakota Kai. We can tell you right now, Live Valkyria looking to inch her name for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. A lot of folks were pushing for her. A lot of folks pushed for Live Valkyria. And we kind of figure out from Dr. Chris Featherstone tonight that Live Valkyria did it. And she did it on her own tonight for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. It was a hard-fought battle. But we saw it tonight. Live Valkyria wins the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Live Valkyria has done it. She is the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. And Live Valkyria will bring more prestige to the Women's Intercontinental Championship as well. So congratulations to Live Valkyria. Congratulations to Dakota Kai. Both women worked hard for it, and you never know. It might be a rematch down the road between these two women. Laria might be able enough to give her a chance and give her a shot at the Women's Intercontinental Championship. So we might see that as well. Well, we told you also too, the Pure Fusion Collective, they look like they want a shot at the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Zoe Starks and I forgot her name. Sonya Deville look like they want a shot at the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And they keep their eye on Lyra and Dakota might team up to take them down. Might be a fatal four-way down the road. You never know. Well, we get to this. The Irishman, Sheamus, looks like he want to take out retribution against Ludwig Kaiser. He did so tonight. Sheamus pinning Ludwig Kaiser tonight, making an example out of Ludwig Kaiser. But Sheamus wants the one title that eluded him. He wants the Intercontinental Championship, and Sheamus wants that spot, and Sheamus wants to take the championship away. And I think Sheamus might do so. I think Sheamus and Braun Breaker might have their feud. Who knows? They might have a match against at Saturday's main event, just to say a match. But they're gonna have to do a huge title change to do something to switch things up a little bit to make it more exciting. So that could be the possibility, but we just have to wait and see if Sheamus could get the Intercontinental Championship, the title that he needs to become a Grand Slam champion. Sheamus knows that championship has eluded him for quite some time, so see if Sheamus will get the job done rather than push it for the round. I'll tell you that right now. Speaking of champions, Rhea Ripley won her championship back against Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley was in the house. Rhea Ripley did so tonight. Rhea Ripley got confronted tonight by Nia Jax. Nia Jax came out of nowhere to interrupt Rhea Ripley and put her down, talking about Rhea's accomplishment, talking about Tiffany's accomplishment. And then Nia Jax announced that she's going to enter the Women's Royal Rumble. And Nia Jax looking like she's going to take a threat to Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley was not stunned or nothing like that. But you can see right here, Rhea Ripley got joined by Bayley. Bayley may be looking at that championship too. If you keep an eye on that Rhea Ripley, but keep her eyes on Bayley. But Nia Jax looked like she was embarrassed tonight. And Nia Jax may watch her words a little bit more carefully than she ever did. And Nia Jax might have to really keep a close eye on what she's gonna do, and we will see if Nia Jax, this tension is going to erode between these two women coming up. So Nia Jax, Bailey, what's going to go down? Would it be a WrestleMania moment, a WrestleMania main event match? Who knows? We don't know what's going on, but we're going to keep a close eye on it. I'll tell you that, folks, right now. Also, too, we talk about this, and this was another match right here. Bailey like kicking Nia in the head. So SmackDown women coming on Raw really ain't adding value. What Becky Lynch at? What the rest of them? So you got to wonder about that. We also found out on Raw that JBL will be on Raw next week. JBL, the former WWE champion, the WWE Hall of Famer, will be on Raw this next week. What would JBL say? What would JBL do? Only time will tell. JBL has been a big loudmouth for quite some time. So John Bradshaw Layfield coming on Raw next week. What would JBL say and what would JBL do? We just have to find out like the rest of them and see what would JBL do. So we'll keep a close eye on that as well with JBL. What's the agenda for John Bradshaw Layfield? I'll tell you that right now. Also, too, we get to the main event. The main event was a street fight between Damien Preist versus Finn Balor. These two men once were tag team partners, tag team buddies, tag team champions. Now things have turned sour, and turned sour in an instant. And you can tell right there that Damien Priest, the look on his face is like he's pissed. He's on it, and he just doesn't. He just want to get his retribution on Finn. This whole rivalry started after Finn turned on Damien and cost him the world championship at SummerSlam this past summer. And Damien wants to get his revenge and retribution. And Damien tried to do so tonight. Damien Priest did so, but it was a lot of interference and stuff. Finn Balor like he was hurt. He was hurt all right. Finn Balor took a beating of a lifetime. We thought Finn Balor wasn't going to make it. But then a lot of chaos happened to the ring. You tell the street fight, tables, chairs, ladders, you name it, was all used. They was outside brawling in the back, brawling in the front, around fans everywhere. So you can tell right there that they was brawling in between and doing what they're doing. But at the end, Damien Priest pinned Finn Balor to get the 1, 2, 3. Damien wins the match and wins some retribution over his former tag team partner, former friend Finn, in an instant. So we saw that tonight, and we saw how that even went down. So, like we said, Damien Priest wins the match tonight over Finn Balor. All right, that ends wrestling. That ends the Raw Ring Report. Let's move on to Wrestling Hot Topics. On Wrestling Hot Topics, we're still talking about this Pentagon debuting in WWE, pinning Chad Gable tonight. Pentagon doing what he needed to do in Pentagon, doing with the Zero No Fear. Already got his merchandise. So Pentagon, right here on WWE Shop, they got the mask, they got the shirts, you name it. They got all black and white. Penta gonna make some money now. He's in the WWE. He's gonna make money. He's gonna make some real buku cash right now. Penta being endorsed tonight by Triple H. Triple H endorsing Penta after his match over Chad Gable. Penta looks great on WWE. Something new and something different for Penta. So I never would have expected Penta would have come to WWE like this. But you got 1 to 2. His brother Phoenix is coming as well. So we'll be seeing Phoenix coming to the WWE sooner rather than later. Also, too, we forgot to mention to tell you that Braun Breaker will defend the Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus. And Sheamus defeat Braun Breaker and become the new Intercontinental Champion, a championship that has eluded Sheamus. We talked about tonight the confrontation between these two and it'll take place at Saturday night's main event, nearly almost 2 weeks from Saturday. So we'll see that match coming up as well. So might be a good match to see. Braun Breaker versus Sheamus. Also, to Danhausen right here, showing that he's expecting another kid. This is gonna be his second kid. Good for Danhausen. Expanding his family. Danhausen doing the right thing. Congratulations to Danhausen on his welcome edition. Well, speaking of Saturday night main event will go head to head soon in July 12th against AEW. So we'll see that match as well coming up as well. Um, we'll see that be that head to head Saturday night main event AEW. WWE trying to purposely go against AEW to hurt their viewership as well. So we'll see that coming forward as well. Also, too, we're hearing Mark Jindrak reports that Mark Jindrak looks like he wants to come back to WWE. Remember him on the left? Mark Jindrak right here on the left. Mark Jindrak was Kurt Angle. Now this is Mark Jindrak in Mexico. So we could see that being that way coming up. So Mark Jindrak could be coming back. I think he's still young. He's still like in his early 40s. So hey, you never know. Mark Jindrak, I think Randy Orton's 45 or something like that. He's turning 45. Man, Randy Orton almost 50 years old. Man. Well, Randy Orton almost 40, almost 40. Well, he's got to be 45 this year. Wow. Okay. Speaking of that, Maria Kanellis, she's announced that she might be a free agent. So Maria may be a free agent. I'm surprised they didn't do nothing well in AEW. They were trying to make her like a female commissioner, but just wasn't working and stuff. Speaking of AEW, Chris Jericho believes AEW will be Raw on the Rays within 6 months. Okay, give me a break, Jericho. We'll see. We'll see on that. That's just your prediction. Well, before we go right here, Triple H said there's a reason we don't say don't try this at home. Congratulations to the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles, trying to inch closer and closer to the Super Bowl. So we'll see if all this plays out now forward and stuff. So hey, could be that possibility as well. But hey, we're gonna leave you right here with Penta. Penta making his debut right here on Raw. Never expected an AEW star making the main roster so quick like that. But Penta heading to the WWE and did his WWE debut tonight against Chad Gable. All right, that's gonna end the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Raw Ring Report. We'll see you tomorrow for the NXT Ring Report here on the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.